Eat healthy. Be nutrition wealthy.
Hello, hello, beautiful people. Here we are another day in the AUM Web Radio. We are volunteering here in Sigixoara with the European Solidarity Corp, and these radio sessions are part of the project called H.U.M.A.N, created because November is the Solidarity Month for Health, and we are going to have our second dose of interesting chit-chatting about nutrition. I'm Claudia, and I will be your host in this day. And if you listen to the other broadcast, you already know us, but in case you didn't, I'm going to ask my colleagues to introduce themselves.
Okay, hello. My name is Emma, and I'm from Sweden. And yes, I'm a volunteer here in the H.U.M.A.N project, and I'm very excited to talk about today's topic.
Hello, I'm David. I'm from Spain. I'm also, of course, like Claudia said, a volunteer from the H.U.M.A.N project. I had so much fun the first time we did the episode. In case you miss it, it will be in YouTube. So I cannot wait to see what Emma had prepared for us. I also prepared something with Emma, something really interesting, and I also want to say hello because Lavi is missing today.
Yeah.
So it would be nice if we say hello. She's in Spain now, eating good Mediterranean food and doing fasting. So yes, hello Lavi, in case you are hearing us.
Hello, Lavi, we miss you.
Yes, we miss you so much.
So thank you guys for introducing yourselves. And now we are going to start with Emma's topic, which is about nutrition and social class. So tell me, what did you prepare for today?
Okay, yes. Today's topic for me is very interesting, and as you said, Claudia, it's the correlation between social class and diet. And so since we're talking about nutrition and the importance of a healthy lifestyle, I also thought that it would be nice and important to discuss the fact that not everyone have the same opportunities when it comes to food. And this has been shown by numerous Western studies. They show a correlation between low income and unhealthy eating habits, sadly. But of course, this distinction this also includes other factors that we will talk about later, not only the nutritional value of food, but we will discuss that later. But before also going deeper into this topic, I would like to just hear your spontaneous opinions and reactions about this topic.
So I think, I'm not sure, and maybe I'm generalizing, but maybe it has a relation, the educational part in our life with the food we eat. So maybe when you are in a lower social class, you don't have that many nutrition. Access or nutrition information. So you don't care, or maybe you are not paying attention that much to this topic. So you tend to go to the easy way and just grab the first thing and not care that much about nutrition.
That could be one factor.
As you both mentioned, it's a really controversial topic. Like sometimes it's so wide, the topic, that we have to specify some things. Like it's nice that you mentioned it also, Claudia, that we cannot generalize about some facts like economic and social levels. I mean, we're still individuals, and it's and we are not experts, so it's nice to, I mean, if we generalize, it's just the way social is generalizing, like, okay? It's just for this warning. For me, it's a fact of life. When you visit any grocery store, the healthier food is more expensive. I think, like, you will talk about that later, about the nutritional facts. This has presented a problem for, I think, low-income families throughout the Western world. So they had obesity rates and other health problems are on the rise among the poor people, who are being pushed towards unhealthy diets by pricing, I think. And so, yeah, I think, like, the food choices we made is usually influenced by the income we have in our house.
Yeah. Thank you for your thoughts. And as you mentioned, it can be tricky diving into this topic because talking about money, socioeconomic class, it will almost always be something controversial. But hopefully after our discussion, we can learn more about this problem and the causes of it. And so why do you think this problem exists? You already kind of went into it a bit, Claudia, but do you have any other thoughts why this might be the case?
I think now that I'm thinking, I think it's also important to remember those who suffer from food poverty or food insecurity, let's say, are also likely to be poor in other aspects of their life. I don't know if you agree with that. It's kind of logic, I think. So I think they're poor also in such ways as income poor, land poor, time also, and resources. So their lack of skills and also knowledge, let's say sometimes. So low-income individuals and family face are a number of additional challenges linked with food choices. So, for example, eating behaviors and diets in this case. There are also related chronic conditions that contribute to diet quality and health. So, let's say they have higher bundle of employment or of unemployment, let's say, food and housing-related insecurity that I think it makes everything unhealthier, let's say, for those people in those level in the society, let's say.
And also, I don't know, I will say, when you have more money in general, you can try new things, you can travel, you can know different kind of lifestyles and learn from that. So when you don't have that much money, you're just focusing on basically eat in general, not eating this thing of Mediterranean food or this Chinese because it's super good for our health. You're just focusing on eating. So
as you say, it's lack of experience, lack of being more open-minded in this kind of ways. Also, I have to say, we all have internet nowadays, but still, not everyone has it.
Exactly.
So the traveling, it doesn't have to be physically traveling. But there are many ways of doing it. So I think it's also that lack of knowledge, experience, so skills.
Okay, thank you guys. Now I would like to talk about a study that I found. There's a lot of studies, like I mentioned. This was just one that I picked. And it's a study published in the European Journal of Public Health. Where mothers in low and middle class households in the Netherlands, Belgium and Germany were studied. In 3 different countries in Western Europe. And here it was shown that lower class mothers don't take health in consideration as much as the middle class mothers. Instead, their primary focus was on the preferences of their family members and the cost of the food. So not really talking about the educational aspect here, but more like the actual economic factor, and also kind of not pressures, but still preferences from other their family members that they obviously care about more. But however, according to this study, these findings do not really explain the differences in food consumption. There's still differences that contribute, but it's not really a solid explanation. They don't really want to draw big conclusions from it. But still, we can have a discussion about the findings. And so, what do you think? Why do you think middle class mothers are more strict with food than their lower class counterparts?
I think when you are, for example, I will put this example of you are a single father or a single mother, and you have no time maybe to cook, or even you cannot take your children from the school, and you have to take them to the cafeteria and to leave them. If you have cafeteria in the school, that is also if they have cafeteria in the school, of course. So basically, you don't have the time to cook proper meals, or if they are eating in the cafeteria, maybe the quality is not the best one. So I think that's like a big thing to take into consideration between the lower class and the middle class, because if you have more opportunities, you can have more time. If you have more money, or your job can give you the time and the willingness to do it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I also think that. I mean, you made me think about that actually. But yeah, I think if you have access of higher education, it means higher quality of pretty much everything around you. So in this example, the cafeteria, of course, you will have. I mean, they will care more about what you eat. How many, like it's diving into the stereotype, but how many movies we saw in the United States, these typical United States high school movies where they are in the posh school, like the high class standards, and they have the meal with the carrots, the lettuce, these kind of things. And then the counterpart going to the not that good high school, let's say, to the poor neighborhood, just like this big paste of whatever it is, it has no shape, boom, in the plate. That is, it's kind of disgusting. But yeah, I mean, it's the thing that they have access to, and we can relate it to movies. So
stereotypes, but still,
But I can also relate, because I remember my mom didn't have the time to take me from the school, so I was eating in the cafeteria, and I remember many days it was so, oh my god, so disgusting. They were serving us spaghetti, but it was from maybe 2 days ago, frozen, and it was so bad and so unhealthy. I was so unhappy because I love eating, and no, please, I don't want to eat here anymore.
If it's not looking good, probably it's not tasting good, or it's not good for our health.
At all.
More probably. Yeah. So I want to dive a bit into these questions that you launched, Emma, because talking about middle class mothers being more strict with food than their lower counterparts, there are so many things that we have to take into consideration with this. With this question. So I think, like Claudia, I think we have to focus more on maybe single mothers in both of the classes. But also inside these single mothers, we have also to take consideration of those facts. For example, how many children do you have? Where do you live? Like if it's in the countryside, if it's in downtown, what kind of supermarket do you have access? It's not the same having a little supermarket in a village, or just a store from, I don't know, whoever, or just a big, I'm not going to say the brand, but we all can relate to those big companies or supermarkets, So, yes, I think also they have, it's just my opinion, I think they have access in general to healthier food, people from the medium class. I mean, it's the fact. Yeah. Or fresher. So they have more economic income, which can lead to make better choices, as I said before. And I think also usually lower class moms are not thinking about a long-term satisfaction of their children. I think they are more into feeling the needs of their children in the moment, and that's why appears the over-processed food, for example, which are cheaper in calories but not in nutritional value. So I think, they don't have time, they are hungry, they need energy, because high-calorie food, they are lots of energy. So I think they just need to fill them with energy, like the gasoline for the cars, So so they are not, they don't have time, let's say, or even resources to think about the long-term nutritional benefits.
Definitely true. The time aspect that you talked about is definitely very important, and there was actually one study that I found again, I found 2 studies.
Wow.
By USDA. So that is, for those who don't know, United States Department of Agriculture. I did not know this. Then they found that single-parent households, as you spoke about, were not as likely to cook as 2-parent households. And this is regardless of income, actually. So, again, with the time aspect, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're a single parent, then probably you don't have a lot of time. But of course, this in practice might look different still, depending on your income. For instance, there's definitely a difference between buying a burger at a fast food chain and buying like a freshly made salad or sushi from a trendy restaurant somewhere. So still, of course, a difference in that, but we can still find that time is a big factor in what kind of food you eat. If you actually cook it, prepare it, or if you just buy it directly made. And if you buy it directly made, usually not as healthy, usually over-processed.
Yes.
But continuing on that note, what other aspects of class and food do you think there might be?
Well, I think there are so many.
Wow.
But also, like, coming back to the topic, like, it's interesting the fact that you said, yeah, of course, 2 parents, it's better in that case than 1 because they are 4 hands.
Yeah.
So you have twice the opportunity to eat or to prepare food. And also it's nice to remember our first podcast where we talked about fasting and also how people can manage to cook without not that much time. So, I mean, for instance, just book for yourself like 2 hours, I don't know, on Sunday when you have free time. And it will be nice, you know, like it's not like time, it's a big factor, but not an excuse not to eat healthy. So we have to remember that. Claudia, like I think you said before something like another nutrition, without being a nutritional aspect, something like for traveling. So yeah, I agree with that. So, and also I'm thinking now, for example, as you say, like having access to real restaurants instead of fast food restaurants can be a predictor of to have a healthier life.
Yeah.
And it happens when we eat meals made by human beings instead of big chains of fast food restaurants. Something that we are going to talk later, so stay tuned. But yeah, I totally agree with Claudia said before about the traveling.
Yeah. Definitely. Yes, like you said, the traveling, different kinds of cultures and different kinds of food. And like you said, with the real restaurants versus fast food restaurants, definitely. Like, usually you would have an expensive restaurant in a more, let's say, rich neighborhood. Yeah. It's not really any point to have a really fancy restaurant in a place where people can't afford it. Also
going to real restaurant, it doesn't mean that they are going to cook in the best way possible. No. I mean, they can always take over processed food and cook for it. So, definitely. But it's more usually to find those kind of things in the fast food chains. And also, I wanted to talk about something, but I don't remember. Maybe I'm not eating that healthy. It's affecting my brain. But just
okay.
I will remember it. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Thank you for your
I will come to the other group, the hygiene.
By the way, remember.
Okay, so don't forget tomorrow to tune in to see what David was forgetting today.
Maybe I will show up like.
So the last kind of thing that I wanted to talk about regarding this topic is kind of looking at, I don't know, the other end of the spectrum, so to say. Because, for example, the most influential and the rich people, the models, the influencers, they serve kind of as pillars of our society's beauty standards. And this puts them under extreme pressure, of course, regarding their skin, body hair, and especially weight. And because of this, the top of the top have personal chefs, they have nutritionists to ensure a low body weight. And of course, their fans look up to them and they want to be them. But the standards they uphold are usually impossible to achieve as a normal person.
Yes.
So they have a lot of resources. So even if they don't really have the time to eat healthy, maybe they're busy, probably, someone else can make the meal for them. And with regards to the food inequality we've showcased, it's from the lower class people, it's usually a battle between being full and not only being healthy, but now also with regards to this, fitting into beauty standards. So if you come from a lower class background, it is therefore a bit easier to feel alienated by society, because not only do you have to think about the health aspect, of course, of eating, but also kind of this beauty standard aspect that, of course, you shouldn't be like the most important thing to you, but since society values beauty a lot and the kind of beauty standards we have, it's still a very big thing for a lot of people. So what would you say about this, about influencers and models and the kind of time and standards they have that aren't really accessible for everyone, but still everyone feels like they have to fit into those standards?
Yeah, I think, like, first of all, like, I will separate the models from the influencers, even if they are like quite close relationship between both of them. Models, first of all, they are rich. Yeah, most of them. I would say I won't generalize, but I think most of them, they're rich. So
at least the one we hear about.
Yeah,
exactly. Because they've made it.
Yeah, just imagine, for example, having your own chef in the house, or for normal people, just go to good restaurants every day. So we have people that cook for us. We have a nutritionist. We have people following our diets. It doesn't mean that some of them their diets are healthy.
True.
Maybe they are feeling some needs that they obviously need to keep working. For instance, I don't know, it's coming into my mind this, I don't know if it was a rumor, but I've heard something about that, the Victoria's Secret girls, the models, like they are being pushed into a diet and also a lifestyle 1 week before to say 1 week before, I think it's more, but 1 week before they are just eating water and oats,
and
I think it is.
Juice, detox juices or something.
Yeah, to feel like they are skinny as hell. Yeah. So, so yeah, they have no fats and nothing. I mean, they look perfect because, as you say, the social values, you know. Someone made us, fashion made us think that this is the goal that we have to achieve, and the goal we have to achieve is being comfortable with our body.
Definitely.
Also, for the influencers, for example, they, as the models are, most of the models, they don't know where they eat and they are just following. You know,
just because they are basically products, so they are selling you things that maybe they didn't even try. Yeah, and it depends a lot on the person, on the body, or on the metabolism. Like, sorry, you cannot follow something that is working for somebody else because it has so many things behind, and also they are from the elite, so you cannot compare yourself with these people because it doesn't make any sense.
Also, you have like influencers that they are just the influencers, and they have the influencers that they have a whole team behind. It doesn't mean that the influencer knows everything he's or she's selling. For instance, for example, I don't know how many times, for example, I know that Claudia, not long time ago, some brand texted you on Instagram to sell you a t-shirt.
Oh, really?
Just
Yes, I'm
imagine. Just imagine you are having the T-shirt. Do you know every component of the T-shirt if you are going to take a picture and post it?
I don't think so, no.
So that's the main problem with most of the influencers. You know, I'm not generalizing. I will keep it that statement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
But
think
it's also marketing. Like, they're
Yes.
trying to sell you things, so they don't care about nothing else. Like, it's just, I mean, some of them, yes. It's not like all the influencers are bad, but generally they're just trying to sell you things.
yeah. Like influencers are products and also a company. So let's think about that. The influencers are the new TV.
Yeah.
You know, like companies are using influencers to replace the ads in the TV
Yeah,
between
they're kind
programs.
of like their own brand.
Yeah, that's why. So sometimes they don't know so much about what they are selling. Sometimes yes, I don't know. For instance, like how many I remember some influencers going to vegan and encouraging everyone to go vegan, and then they just link a picture in the restaurant eating meat. You know, so it's like I'm not trust you so much. You know,
Suspicious.
yeah, but it's also the combination of them not knowing anything and us not knowing anything. I mean, we are not educated enough in this topic, for example, and in so many topics. For example, I don't know, the T-shirts and whatever they need to sell. Yes.
Like, I don't know. My advice will be just to think instead of just doing the thing. Like, think and research first, because you never know.
Yeah, being an influencer is more important because you are the one spreading the information. So it will be nice. Influencers, if you are hearing me, please, doing it is nice. You can keep selling their products, but at least be conscious about what you are selling, because not everything is saleable or, you know.
Yes, very true. Thank you guys for this amazing discussion about social class and diet.
So thank you very much. It was really interesting, Emma. Now we're going to have a little break, but don't go anywhere, because we will be back in a few minutes with another amazing topic that it's going to present David about over-processed food. So see you now.
See you.
Eat healthy. Be nutrition wealthy.
Welcome back. So here we are with another topic that David is going to present us about over-processed food. So what do you have to say? I'm super looking forward for this.
Super looking forward.
Super looking forward. Oh my god, ultra super looking.
So thanks, Claudia, for introducing the topic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And yes, as you told, but doing it more specifically, the topic is why are highly processed food generally less healthy? So let's start with this question for the audience and also for you too, Emma and Claudia. Do you got some ideas of why highly processed food is generally less healthy?
Because it's not really natural. It's not something that you can find whenever, like it's
In
not
the
from the nature.
nature,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. They are making it in laboratories. They are adding things like sugars and additives and things that they are chemicals, and it's not like real food.
Yeah, I would say the same. Like, it's not really what our body is supposed to be eating, supposed to be digesting. So, yeah, it would make sense that it's not really healthy for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are in the right way, and I see you studied a bit the topic.
Of
Be
course.
prepared.
So to introduce it the way it should be introduced, we have to link this topic to the fact that it's an issue in the typical Western diet, the food being refined or highly processed.
So you mentioned this refined food, but how do they do it exactly?
I mean, yeah, it's a nice question. Maybe the audience can have it. Like, since if you watch it in Instagram, we were talking about beta carotene and those things that people usually don't know. So yeah, it's nice to mention it. So to keep it simple for the audience and also for us, is the big companies removing important nutrients like fiber, iron, vitamin B, and a long list of etc.
Yeah, okay, but why are they doing that? Is there a reason the big companies are doing that? What's the point?
So the first of all is to give the food a softer texture, linking to what Claudia said in the first episode, and also to extend the shelf life of the resulting products.
But what does it mean?
The shelf life, it means that a highly processed food is going to last longer in the supermarket because pests like mold, for example, are less attracted to food that are low in nutrients.
Okay, now I understand why the I'm not going to say the brand, but this typical bread that you buy and it's like there forever in your freezer and it's never getting mold or something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we saw it in the first episode that bread, for example, like there are many ways of keeping the food or the meals fresh. For instance, one of them is putting them in the fridge. But if, for example, if the same low quality in nutrients bread, you are keeping it outside the fridge, of course it's going not to last that many.
Yeah.
So, and it means that if the bread is not going to last much time, it means that it's a good bread. So it has the less things.
Yeah. I mean, I think we tend to think the opposite, like, oh my god, mold so fast, why? But I think it's the normal, like everything dies in a moment, so it's like
it's the process of
the
life.
process of life.
It's
Yeah,
the process
exactly.
of life for
So,
us. It's the process of life for food as well.
Exactly.
So, do you think we can relate this to a little reflection that I made in the first episode? Do you remember the reflection we made? You can be honest. Honest is
Honesty.
is the motto.
Our value.
Was it the one with like, if mold doesn't want to eat the food, then we shouldn't?
Amazing,
Yeah.
great. So we coming back with the reflection that I launched to the audience in the first episode, that it's if highly processed food is so low in nutrients that even pests don't want to eat it, how healthy it can be for us. So here you have the answer. You can reflect even more about that, having more information. So have you ever had an experience, Emma, with something like this? For instance, Claudia had this bread experience, or even, I don't know, YouTube video, I don't know, comparing something.
Yeah. Actually, I saw a video, like, it was a burger from a famous fast food restaurant.
Which one will be?
You can come to your own conclusions. And it was this kind of time lapse with the burger, like, not going bad for I don't know how long. It was super long, and it just stayed the same, which is very scary, I would say, because that's not how food should be. It should expire at some point, or something bad should happen to it. But when it's just completely the same for I don't know how long, like many years, then maybe you should. I don't know if it was many years, but it was a long period of time that the food just was completely fine, like it was from the beginning, and that's a bit scary to me, I would say.
Yeah, for me too. I saw this. I think I saw the same video, and I was about to talk about that. But it's nice that you mentioned it. And to complete that that information of the video that Emma said, thank you. I remember once in the loan project, I don't know, like Andre, that it's the one in charge of everything, and Claudia, they were with me in the long term. Some time, I think we did a barbecue or something like this. So. Volunteer of the loan project, he made homemade burgers. I remember I stole one from him and I wanted to have it for the next day, but I went for a one-day trip, and I left the burger in the microwave, just hoping when I will coming back to the trip it will be nice, and it was full of mold. I was like, wow. I was like, It made me reflect a bit, because I was used to at least to stay longer, because I was used to another type of immortal food, let's say. So for me, it was shocking to say how fast can something natural or homemade can die, let's say.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So tip if you are lost now, just the fact to know if it's highly processed food or not is to check if the meal was made by a human being, in this case this volunteer, or a large corporation, as Emma said, this famous fast food chain. And it's just this is the best predictor of a healthy diet, as we say in the first half an hour of this second episode of nutrition.
And so why is it less healthy then if it's from a big corporation or company?
Yeah, you may think that, big corporations, so they have the best, more chefs in the kitchen and whatever. No. For big companies, we are, say, brands instead of restaurants or real restaurants compare. The reason, for example, is that we outsource our food preparation to big companies, as we said before, is less healthy. Because they tend to cook in a certain way that is unhealthy as hell. So adding big quantities, for example, of salt, fat, and sugar that we're going to mention, I think, later with some surprise that I have prepared for you.
Nice.
Yes. So everything in excess, let's say, is bad. Everything in life in excess is bad. For instance, those salt, fat, and sugar are problematic nutrients for our health. It's not unhealthy, they are problematic if we intake in excess. Also, we have to add the fact that they are using the cheapest ingredients. We are talking about companies, we are talking about businesses, so
it's about the profit they make, so it makes sense.
Definitely.
So let's say to conclude this little topic, so high quantity of low quality food, as we mentioned before. So, yeah.
But, I have a question. Maybe the people that is listen to us maybe has the same question. How do they do it to make the food taste good,
Nice rhyme.
Eminem in the house.
I think, like you mentioned before, Claudia, they are adding so many chemical stuff and additives like colorants, artificial flavors, stabilizers, other preservative, 3 dots, etc.
Yeah.
So all of these with a nice package, products are maintaining the illusion that we as customers, we think we have the choice to, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the same product. The only thing that change is the flavor and also the package.
Oh, but that's true, because the package is really important. Like for me, at least, when I see these amazing like red or yellow colors in the package, like, oh, buy this croissant 2 for 1, whatever, it's like, oh my god, I want to eat it. And then you open it and it's like really like, but the package, like the marketing, the colors, it's really, really important.
But that's also true for fast food restaurants, again not mentioning names, but you see the picture, you see the commercial, and it's like, wow, this burger looks really good, oh my god, like this fresh lettuce, and the burger looks really nice, the patty, but then you actually get it, you order it, and it's like kind of disappointing, I would say.
Yes.
The colors and the quality of the vegetables you have in the burger, it's a bit different from what you expect.
I remember also seeing a video making the advertisement for a burger.
Same.
And they were putting like the drops in the lettuce, and they were like, instead of a real tomato, it was like this kind of, I don't know, I think they made it was not for real. Like it was, wow. It was like making a painting or something.
It's making for us the illusion is going to look like this when we are ordering it.
Yes.
Also, I remember seeing in that topic, I really like photography, and I really like how they, like the process of taking the pictures of the advertisement. I remember seeing that one, like the one from this burger brand. But also the cereals. Like, I didn't know that the cereals, to make the illusion they look better than they actually are, instead of milk for the pictures, they are put in white paint.
Oh my god.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yes. Surprise. Boom.
Wow.
Mind-blowing.
Shocking facts, this broadcast.
We are tearing down the whole system. So, it's, as I said, at the end of the day, it's just that how many times we open a package of chips, just can imagine which one, the canned one, and just, because when I was younger, I still young, but I was younger, I remember like opening the package of chips, the can, and then licking the flavor, and then after the flavor is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah. It's the same chip, but with different...
Yeah, it's just a powder or whatever, So, what do you think about all of this, about all of the overprocessed food that we mentioned, is like a quick conclusion?
I like the same that I said before, like it's not natural, so at the end, all your body, your brain, your stomach, everything, it's not working well because you are not giving like a natural thing to your body. And I mean, of course, if you take too much, like if you take some day, everybody does it, it's kind of okay. But it's not the best thing. Yeah.
I mean, it's nice for you to know those little things. They're basic. They are basic stuff to know. But at least it's... introducing to you and also to the audience what is behind all the chips and all the overprocessed food, snacks, etc. that it's behind all of this, the preparation, just for you to be aware of that, and then now you can have the choice to make a change.
Yeah, and also I would like to say, because there are some kind of processed foods that are not that bad. For example, I don't know, the hummus, it's not like something really... I mean, it's natural, but it's processed. But it has like a few ingredients. Like I heard about it because I like to research and everything. That when it has more than 5 ingredients, it's bad. Like it's bad ultra processed food. But if it has 5 or less, it's okay. So that's also something to take into consideration, because not all the processed foods are bad.
Yeah, of course. Like not all the it's right, this statement that you said, Claudia, and also like coming back from the topic of before, like it's just, even if hummus, for example, that you mentioned, it's healthy, it can exist other ways of making the hummus. Like I remember you been with me in the Sakuska festival in in Cluster. Like it's the taste is different. Even if the Sakuska that you can buy in a supermarket can be tasty, it's way different than the natural one.
It's completely different. That's true. Yeah. But anyway, like I don't know.
Yeah, I would also like to just my thoughts about this is because we kind of went a little bit, I don't know, not off topic, but I was also would say I agree with everything Claudia said, and I definitely think it's important to mention that of course you should not eat overprocessed food like on a daily basis, on like every meal, but yeah, I think it's also good to have kind of a balance. Like you shouldn't always be like, no, I cannot eat this, no, I cannot eat this, because then I think it maybe lead to an unhealthy mindset.
Yes.
I think it's good to just kind of be mindful of, okay, how is this made? This is not really good for my body, but maybe sometime I just feel like I need it. I just want to, I don't know, have a bag of chips like with my friends or something. Yes. So I also think it's important to not be too black and white, so to say. Like, of course, it's bad for you, but just once in a while, it's fine, I would say.
Yes. I agree. I totally agree with that.
Same.
And also, like to close this topic, as Claudia said, food is alive and it should eventually die. So, and the food that doesn't die is something we have to think about this and care. So yes, we have prepared something for the next little topic, the three of us. So see you in a few seconds.
Eat healthy. Be nutrition wealthy.
Okay, we are back. Now, what's the next topic? I'm looking forward. What are you going
I
to
didn't
talk?
have to prepare myself for that mentally, but it was short. But yeah, dear audience, Claudia, Emma, the time has come.
Wow.
To talk about making drama. To talk about the tips for navigating through the supermarket that I think everyone have to just know and think about this.
Yes.
It's an exercise that we are going to do all together. You can also take a note from home and add whatever you think it suits the best for you to have the best, cheapest and efficient experience in the supermarket. Are you ready?
Yes.
Great. Do you have any idea? Do you have any tip for the audience?
Yes. I have a tip.
Go for it, sorry.
Okay. My tip that always helps me, I should do it more often, I don't, but I really should, is before you go to the supermarket to plan and make a shopping list and just kind of, okay, what meals do I want to cook for the week, what kind of ingredients do I usually want, and then stick to it. Don't buy like this and this and this that wasn't on the list, like, oh, I see this and it's on half price but I don't really need it, or I see this and it looks really nice but I still don't really need it. Like just to plan and stick to your shopping list. Like, of course you can make exceptions, you don't have to follow it strictly, but if you feel like, oh, I wasn't really planning on getting this and I don't need it but it's on sale, then maybe think it through, like, just because it's on sale, you don't have to buy it. And if it looks tasty, still you don't have to buy it. Just stick to your list, I would say.
Yeah, also it can help you to be more organized in other aspects in your life. So, like the shopping, I'm thinking about this. Shopping, going for shopping is a process. Like it's before, in the meanwhile, and after that. So, yeah, it's nice to start the process in the best way possible.
Yeah, to really prepare yourself.
I agree with that. So, I have one tip that I don't know if you know it, but you will tell me. That is, stick to the periphery of the supermarket, where real food or less processed food are there.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I mean, yes. Now that you say it, always that I get into the supermarket, I always see the first thing this industrial processed food like donuts and bread with cheese, pizza, all this stuff. And when you want to go for the eggs or milk or something, you have to go through all the supermarkets. So
I agree. Yes. Yes. So the natural way, as Claudia said, of going to the back of the supermarket is through the processed food that is in the middle, and that happens because industries are spending millions and millions of marketing only in the way or where they place their products for you to have difficulties to leave the supermarket just only with the things that you have in your shopping list. So that's why I said it's a huge process.
Yeah.
And it's really nice and really important to remember to stick to the things that you think you needed when you were back home. With any distractions.
Yeah, definitely.
And also, I will say the other tip, it will be like not go to the supermarket when you are hungry, because that can end bad. Like, it happened many times to me. Like, I'm starving and I'm like, okay, I need things. And I just go for the first chocolate bar that I see. And at the end, maybe I have something planned also, but I end up buying much things that I don't need, that instead if I'm going already having eaten and everything. So yes, I will say not go when you're hungry.
Yeah, I think this fact can make a difference between what you are eating or not, of course. I think like if you are starving, you don't know what you want to eat, you just want to eat. So probably if you're starving, maybe you need just a chocolate bar. And actually how many times, it happened. Like a chocolate bar, packets of chips, popcorn, and then this, and then that, and then this. No. You know, like maybe, and then when I come back home, I just eat a bite of the chocolate bar, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't need the rest. You know, but then it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. Then you already bought it, so.
Yeah, so you have to eat it already.
Of course. Oh no, I have to eat chocolate.
Oh my god,
so horrible.
Such a drama.
So, keeping to this, those tips, I have the last one. That is, we'll start with this question. Did you ever have problems reading the labels of the package?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know where to start.
I think like everyone have problems, like even the people that knows, because they have so milligrams of this and that. So, I have a tip for you. If you don't know if it's or it isn't highly processed, just look at the amount of ingredients, as Claudia said before, in the package. The more, the worse. For instance, fruits and vegetables don't come with ingredient list, so then they are the best choice, let's say. So there are more tips. Each of you can feel free to fill the list however you want, as I said before, but these are usually the ones that works basically for everyone. They are informing me, Andrei, thank you, that we have a bit of time to do the last surprise that I have for you, Emma, Claudia, and the rest of the audience. So see you again in a few seconds.
See you.
Eat healthy. Be nutrition wealthy.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you.
So the thing that I prepare for you is some myths about nutrition. Maybe some myths that you have heard from some friends or just statements that people take for granted that they are real, but we are here to tear them down.
Yes, sounds amazing.
So who wants to start?
Okay. This is a myth that I've heard online, and it's eating after a certain time causes you to gain weight. So I don't know, can we discuss that one?
Yes, I think what matters the most is how you eat, what you eat as well, and how much physical activities you have throughout the day. I think it's just a combination of that. It's like you should also, like, let's not be that tricky. You should also avoid certain types of food close into bedtime, because it can causes digestion issues and also sleep issues. Yes, but it's just that let's stick to those myths in the surface, because I mean, you can always go through internet we did to seek for more information, more specific information. So yeah.
Okay.
I would like to know, because this is a really famous one, the fact that you should cut carbs to lose weight. Is that true, or?
I mean, it's true. I think after my explanation, we can resentence the. Let's do this exercise all together. So they are an important. Like carbs are an important part of our diet. So they are our source of energy, as I said before. They are making us being energetic. It's our gasoline, let's say. But they are two types. So they have the good ones and the bad ones. You know. So the simple ones are the bad ones. So let's stick to that. Simple, bad.
Yes.
Okay.
And the simple is like the white bread and white pasta, so on, right?
Yes. It's also the chips, the soda, candies.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So also we have the counterpart is the complex one. So simple, bad, complex, good. That they are the fruits, the vegetables, the whole grains, nuts, and beans. So the conclusion. Eat less simple carbs. Sorry. Sorry. Too many parties. But I still eat good. So eat less simple carbs and more complex. So knowing that, how can we sentence when we will hear this again? Like, you should cut carbs to lose weight. So it would be nice to tell them you should cut simple carbs to lose weight and to be healthier. Exactly. Like the losing weight is not the mean.
And to feel better.
Yes,
it's
not the main
thing that you want to achieve. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, of course. So, do you have another one? I can apport something, maybe.
Yeah. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I have one that I saw, and I think it's a bit more complicated, but it's related to the excess of everything. That fats are bad for you. At some point, we had like salt is bad for you, fats are bad for you, sugar is bad for you, everything is bad for you. So what should I take?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think they are bad, no, because fat is the main thing that you need for your brain to work, like to function.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, this combined with salt as well. So yeah, your body relies on fat for energy. Okay, exactly. Vitamin absorption, and like Claudia said, heart and brain health, among many other functions. So as we said to the carbs, there are many different of fats. So the ones that are healthy, let's stick to the surface again, they are the unsaturated one. So let's see, unsaturated. Healthy. Okay. In the unsaturated one, we have the monounsaturated and the polyunsaturated. Is good to make a difference? Yes. Stick to the unsaturated is
healthy.
Great. So the olive oil, for instance, the avocados and almonds are the monounsaturated, and the polyunsaturated, they are the flaxseed, fatty fish, tofu.
Okay.
Let's stick to the unhealthy. So trans fat and saturated fat are
unhealthy.
Amazing. So the trans fat, for instance, are chips, pastries, cookies, margarine, fried food, etc. And the saturated fat are whole fats, dairy products, red meat, chicken skin, etc. But still, let's stick to the surface. Unsaturated one are
healthy.
And the trans fat and saturated fat are
unhealthy.
Amazing. Let's finish with one that I really want to ask to Claudia, knowing that she is a vegetarian. So I've heard something like, and of course you also could hear this, going vegetarian will help you to lose weight and be healthier. What do you have to tell about that?
I don't agree 100%. I think it can make you eat healthier if you take care of your nutrition because normally when you become vegan or vegetarian, you are more like seeing what you eat, because you have to take the proteins that you need and you have to take it from other thing that it's not the meat.
Yes.
But the fact that they say that no, you will be you will lose, you will be skinnier, you will lose weight, and I don't think so, because it depends a lot on the kind of body, metabolism. Anyway, you can also find many over-processed food that are vegan or vegetarian, and they are not good for your health. So I don't think it has a relation the skinnier with the vegetarian.
So you can still eat snacks being vegetarian,
exactly,
right? Yeah, I think, yes. Like also I have to add that some research shows that a healthy vegetarian eating plan, or one made up from food that come mostly from plants, may be linked to lower levels of obesity, lower blood pressure, and a reduced risk of heart disease. So to conclude with this topic, and something that I think you can follow from now on is eat food, not too much, mostly plants.
Yeah, I completely agree. So thank you very much, both of you. I think it was really interesting. I'm going with homeworks to my house because I'm going to research more about this. And I had an amazing time. I hope you guys too.
Da.
And I hope you learned something new for the audience and you enjoyed it. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And that's all. Have an amazing day.
La revedere!
La revedere!
La revedere!
Eat healthy. Be nutrition wealthy.